Well, well, the judge issued an order in Rosa's case, and it doesn't quite make sense to me. It reads as though the judge never read Rosa's filings. It's short. It's 2 pages. It kind of contradicts itself. We'll go through it here in a minute. But yeah, the order came in today, dismissing the case, leaving the window open for Rosa to file another amended complaint, which is weird because he didn't accept her first amended complaint, but he's leaving a window for her to amend it again. So she has until the 15th. So he has a couple weeks to do that. It's very weird. It's very weird reasoning that he put in here. Well, first we'll do this. Oh shit. Off. There we go. Okay. So let me bring up ye old there we go. Okay, so it's a couple of pages, not very long. But you know, let's read it. Let's read the order and see exactly what's in it and what it means. So order denying the motion to reconsider the denial of a preliminary injunction. So Rosa had filed, because they originally said, no, you can't get a preliminary injunction. And Rosa said, hey, look at this stuff that says I should be able to get a preliminary injunction. And here the court's saying, no, I'm saying the first time I did it right. Dismissing the original complaint. So original complaint, no, you don't get to sue them for anything. And denying leave to file the First Amendment complaint. So she submitted more evidence that FINRA was fucking up and doing a bad job and not doing the job they should be doing. And they're saying, no, you can't add any of that stuff in there. It serves no purpose. And leave to file, and setting deadline for any motion for leave to file a Second Amendment complaint. So the judge is saying, you can file again. You got a couple weeks to do it. So you can file another complaint, and maybe if you find some good reasons, I'll grant that one. But as you'll see, it doesn't appear as though the judge ever read what Rosa wrote. I did a quick glance through this, but we'll go through together. Okay. The Financial Regulatory Authority, Incorporated, FINRA, is part of the congressionally established securities industry self-regulatory system. See Weissman versus National Association of Securities Dealers, blah, 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 blah. FINRA suspended trading in shares of Metamaterial Incorporated, Meta, shortly before the shares were slated for exchange for shares of other entities. Okay. No, FINRA did not suspend shares in Metamaterial Incorporated. They suspended preferred shares. The Metamaterial Torchlight preferred shares. But anyway, plaintiff Rosa Tawil was a Meta shareholder. She asserts FINRA suspended trading prematurely, reducing the value she and her other Meta shareholders received in the exchange. Again, MMTLP, not Meta. In this action, Ms. Tawil asserts antitrust and securities claims against FINRA. There are no other defendants. Ms. Tawil seeks injunctive relief and accounting, not damages. Notice, she's not seeking damages. She's seeking injunctive relief and accounting. Keep that in mind as we go further. An earlier order denied Ms. Tawil's motion for temporary restraining order or preliminary injunction. This was based upon saying that FINRA had immunity to everything. All right, so the original denial motion was simple. Oh, FINRA says they got immunity, so they got immunity. All right. Ms. Tawil has moved to reconsider the earlier order. This order denies the motion. Ms. Tawil still has not met the prerequisites to a preliminary injunction. Most significantly, she has not shown a substantial likelihood of success on the merits. okay. This is where I have a problem, is that the judge doesn't cite anywhere in there where she would not have success in the merits because they never addressed that. Ever. She was able to show that she was injured many times, that other people were injured, and that FINRA acted outside the scope of their authority from Congress. So those are significant merits that would suggest that she could win on those merits. So without having a trial to decide if those claims are meritorious, the judge just says, well, you don't have any merits, so off you go. FINRA has moved to dismiss. Ms. Tawil has responded and also has moved for leave to file her amended complaint. This order grants the motion to dismiss, denies leave to file the first amended complaint because it does not cure the deficiencies in the original complaint. Okay. What are the deficiencies? If you aren't willing to say what the deficiencies are, then what are they? If she's able to show that she was injured, that others were injured, and that FINRA acted outside the scope of their authority from Congress, then where are the deficiencies? Right? Where are they? What is deficient about that? That's all you need in order to file a suit. This order grants the motion dismissed, denies filing, and allows Ms. Tawil an opportunity to move for leave to file a Second Amendment complaint. Basically saying, well, you can try again, but I'm just going to deny it without ever reading it. The first basis for dismissal is immunity. In Weissman, the 11th Circuit Court held that FINRA's predecessor, the National Association of Securities Dealers, immune from action for damages. Immune from action for damages. She's not seeking damages. The entire point is that Rosa's not seeking damages. Did the judge read any of this? Anything she filed? Rosa's not seeking damages. Yes, FINRA has immunity to damages. She's never bothered seeking any damages, right? The court's broad description of immunity made no mention of the fact that the claim was for damages, and other courts have held FINRA immune from claims for injunctive relief, except for the fact that just recently other courts have ruled that FINRA had to provide all sorts of stuff pertaining to injunctive relief. So the judge kind of one-sided on this one. All right. Cashmore verse FININDIS. FININDIS Legal Authority. Those are not FINRA. All right. And another one that's not FINRA. Suspending trading when warranted is precisely the kind of activity FINRA can undertake in its quasi-regulatory capacity. A claim that FINRA got it wrong, that trading should not have been suspended, is precisely the kind of claim for which FINRA should and does have immunity. Okay. It's not that FINRA got it wrong, Your Honor. It's that FINRA acted using their capacity of the authority granted by the Congress to benefit market makers and short hedge funds at the expense of retail investors. They're supposed to be a neutral party in this. And what they're doing is they're acting on behalf of bad actors who illegally sold shares that don't exist. So if what they're doing is to help the bad guys break the law and hurt those who are following the law, then they're not acting within the bounds of their authority, their regulatory authority. So it appears the judge did not read a single page that Rosa sent him. Review of FINRA's decisions is available in appropriate circumstances in the Securities Exchange Commission and through judicial review of commission actions. So he's saying, well, if they fuck up, then the Securities Exchange Commission has to deal with it. Other people don't have the authority to do that. Okay, so right now what we have is we have a private company who's been given power by Congress. And in that power by Congress, they can't be sued for damages, right? And you can't question any of their decision making, even if their decision making is outside the scope of their authority and is being used to hurt people, which is what they did. But because they're not a government agency, you can't use Freedom of Information Act requests to get data from them about how they made these decisions. So you can't do any Freedom of Information Act requests. So they've got the best of both worlds. You can't sue them and you can't get any information out of them. It would seem to me that should be challenged in all sorts of different ways. And the judge didn't. I don't think the judge read anything Rosa filed. Okay. Review of FINRA's decisions is available in appropriate circumstances in the Securities Exchange Commission and through judicial review of commission actions. Discriminating FINRA's interpretation or actions can form the basis of a complaint to the SEC about FINRA's conduct, but not a state law claim. She's filing in federal court, not state law. An alternative basis for dismissal of Ms. Tawil's antitrust claim is failure to state a claim on which relief could be granted. She has made the bald allegation that FINRA acted in concert with hedge funds or others who traded in Meta shares, but she has alleged no facts suggesting that FINRA so acted or had any reason to do so act. Okay. All right. So if you have evidence, let's say emails between the SEC and FINRA showing that the SEC knew there was fraud happening on the side of hedge funds, right? They said, hey, there's a bunch of fraud going on. Get in contact with our person about that and we'll discuss it. And you know that the level twos are showing within a couple of orders, prices in the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. When you choose to halt, right, due to an extraordinary event, and months later, you then explain that extraordinary event was, it'd be really hard for people to get their shares because like the data record is 2 days and people would keep buying shares. But your own corporate action implied and told the broker-dealers that no new positions would be open, so there would be no new buying of shares. It'd be position close only. Again, it feels like the judge never read anything Rosa filed. It just... Okay. If people have not received their shares, and we are 6 months removed from when the shares were issued, and people still have not received the shares, that is proof, hands down proof, that shenanigans happened. And if shenanigans happened, FINRA's at fault for allowing those shenanigans to happen. And if they halted trading of the stock that would clear up the shenanigans, right? Then I think the case has been proven that she could sue. She was injured. I was injured. You were injured. Feel everyone this Chow's injured. Injured. FINRA, not injured. Hedge funds, not injured. Market makers, not injured. They benefited. They benefited from that halt. They never had to close their positions. And to this day, their positions remain open. Not only that, they've increased shorted positions. You could, right now in your brokerage, turn on your margin account and you'll watch your shares immediately get lent out. So the shorting continues. Okay. Her allegations fall short of those held insufficient in Bell Atlantic Corp versus Twombly. An alternative basis for dismissals of Ms. Tawil's securities claim is failure to state a claim on which relief could be granted. But all she's asking for is 2 more days of trading. That seems like a pretty easy relief right there, Your Honor. This is for 2 reasons. First, Ms. Tawil asserts that only that FINRA aided and abetted a violation of Securities Exchange Act. The SEC can bring action for aiding and abetting violation, but a private party cannot. So it's just saying that we have to get the SEC to go slap FINRA around. That the courts can't do it. Even though the laws are written and these are the rules that they should follow, Even if they fucked up entirely, you know, the courts have no power to enforce the law in this country. Only the SEC can do that. Second, Mr. Will has not alleged fraud with particularity as required by federal rule of civil procedure. Indeed, she has not come close, addressing blah, 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 blah. If FINRA has this thing called the thresholds list, which shows failures to delivers that happen, and failures delivered happen for 40 plus days in a row, and nothing was done about it at all. Not on FINRA's end, not on the SEC's end, not on the FBI, the FTC, any of those guys. Right? Not the DTCC, not the DTC, not the OSCC, none of those regulatory bodies, private companies, self-regulatory organizations, not anyone did anything about the obvious fraud that was happening, which was days and days and days and days and days of naked short selling stock you didn't have, right? And then when it came time to finally provide the actual stock that had been sold, those last 2 days of trading, FINRA was like, no, the fraud shall continue. And in the judge's eyes, this is not a good enough reason in which to make FINRA actually do their job, which is regulate the markets, not put their thumb on the scale for hedge funds and market makers. Mr. Will's action could perhaps be dismissed with prejudice at this time without affording her another opportunity to amend, but this order gives her one more chance. Aw, isn't that great? You can file one more time and I still won't read it. Me. Mr. Will may move for leave to file a second amended complaint or may choose to stand the original and propose first amended complaint. If she chooses to stand, she should file a notice so indicating, so that a judgment may be entered dismissing the action. So basically saying, oh, you know, you're welcome to file again, but if you stand on like all the ample evidence you have that FINRA screwed up, we're just going to dismiss. Haha. So, okay. And in any event, if Mr. Will does not move for leave, file a second amendment complaint by deadline as order or by any extended deadline established on a timely motion, a judgment will be entered dismissing the action. It is ordered. Motion reconsidered denied. Motion dismissed granted. The original complaint is dismissed. The motion for leave amended is denied. Deadline for Mr. Will to move for leave to file a second amendment complaint is June 15th, 2023. I would take this to the appellate court. I think Rosa was able to establish quite clearly in all of her filings that she was injured and that FINRA was at fault for injuring her. In this, the judge basically says, well, she doesn't have any claims of injury, and how is that FINRA's fault? I think this is an absolutely garbage order from the court here. Again, like the law says, the actual law says FINRA has immunity from monetary damages. The case they cite stated that FINRA had immunity from monetary damages. And he's like, well, it didn't specifically say it couldn't be immunity from anything else. No, because the law specifically says FINRA has immunity to monetary damages. Rosa's not seeking monetary damages. That's why she filed this action. Right? So if she's not seeking monetary damages, and the law is very specific in stating that FINRA has immunity from monetary damages, but not in anything else, and there's multiple court cases showing that FINRA can be forced to produce documentation and undergo injunctive relief, I don't understand what this judge is doing, what Hinkle's doing here. It's silly. It's silly as far as I can see. It's because first of all, FINRA's filings were trash. The first one was written at a 4th grade level. The other ones were basically like, we've got immunity to everything, so you know, and basically also admitted that they screwed up. They were like, well, you know, we may have screwed what we were supposed to do, but then FINRA has to like do something. Or sorry, the SEC has to do something about it. She can't. This really seems to eliminate checks and balances in the system, and basically allows for gross fraud, negligence, all sorts of things to happen with the financial markets, and the courts are like, well, we can't do anything about that. Hinkle, you're a disappointment. You're a disappointment to me. You're probably a disappointment to your parents at this point, and my guess is you are a disappointment to God and country. So, everybody, I guess the key is to become a self-regulatory agency, and you can do whatever you want. Just whatever you want. No one can punish you. You are free to break all the laws you want because Congress said you can do it, and the courts can't do anything about that. Absolute trash, Robert L. Hinkle. Garbage. Okay. Not bored enough. Can someone ask her if they can copy her lawsuit and take it to another state and get a non-idiotic, non-overwhelmed judge? Her arguments are sound. She said yes. She said that before. I highly encourage what are you doing? I highly encourage anyone who lives in a tiny little state, a Wyoming, a North Dakota, a West Virginia, some itty-bitty, not heavily populated state, to go take this to the federal courts there and get a board judge who would love to rule on something financial. This could be a precedent-setting case. And Hinkle just sounds lazy, man. This is a very, very short order that does not bring up a single argument Rosa made, which is lazy as can be. Like, does Hinkle want Rosa to take this to the Court of Appeals and be like, he didn't do his job, right? Like, is that what he wants her to do? Is that what he's implying with this? Like, hey, I'm going to make this really weak order. I'm going to cite a case law that you brought up, saying that they're immune from monetary damages, which is why I'm not asking for monetary damages, and then say they're also immune from other things outside of monetary damages. What do you want? Why are you staring at me? What do you want? I got a little nose stick up in the camera there. Oh, you little dog. So yeah, there's our 5 pages of disappointment right there. But you know what? This gives us all the reason in the entire world to continue to be annoying as possible. Because if the courts aren't going to do their job, we're going to have to make Congress and the SEC do theirs. So don't stop calling. Don't stop writing letters. Don't stop knocking on their doors and talking to them and being like, hey, the economy's crashing because you dipshits aren't doing your job. And I'm here to make sure you do your job. I know you get lots of money from the JP Morgans and the Goldman Sachs and everything. But you know what? They're too busy running the world to come and knock on your door and bug the shit out of you every day. And I'm going to call, I'm going to leave messages, and I'm going to write letters, and we're going to pick it outside your offices. And we're going to keep doing this every goddamn day until either you quit or you do your job. That's what we have. We don't have the money and influence power, but we have a lot of us. And we can be really annoying. I mean, if it came down to it, if you were a congressional staffer or a secretary for deputy secretary of the SEC or whatever, and you had to face one of us every single day for as long as you're in office, you're going to bash your brains into a wall. Or you're going to do what we ask and then finally be free of us. We are going to be a ball and chain around your ankle. You're going to have to drag everywhere you go. We'll find out when you're in the office. We'll find out when you're back in your home district. We'll find out every single thing about that. And we're going to bug the shit out of you constantly, day in, day out. Phone calls, letters, emails, in-person visits, town hall meetings where we raise our hands and we bring up this topic, and you can pretend like it's the first time you ever heard it, and then we can remind you that we've talked to you about it 15 times. So don't patronize us by pretending like you haven't been told about this before. Be annoying as hell. Be absolutely annoying. Just be relentless. Do not stop. The only way this is ever going to get fixed is if we bug them so much that they finally go, oh, fuck, fine. Fine. We will fix this if you'll shut up. And we'll go, okay, we'll shut up. All right. And we'll say, hey, you fix this, I'll make sure you get a healthy donation the next time you run for office. You know, sweeten the deal a little bit. It's what Goldman Sachs does. It's what Ken Griffin does. All right. Anyway, in other news, Joe Biden, the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury said Biden will not invoke the 14th Amendment regarding the debt ceiling, which is the dumbest thing the Biden administration could come out and say. Absolutely stupid. Joe Biden, you namby-pamby little weakling. When you talk with Kevin McCarthy, and he's like, I want to cut all these programs or else I'm not going to raise the debt ceiling. You can be like, you can do whatever the fuck you want, buddy. I'm going to invoke the 14th Amendment on June 5th. So, you know, you can pitter-patter around, not raise the debt ceiling, whatever. But when it comes to June 5th, I'm just going to unilaterally do it, and you can sue me. But by then it'll be too late. We'll pay our debts, and you'll look like an asshole. That is exactly what Joe Biden needs to be doing. Joe Biden thinks too much like a senator, like somebody who's been in Congress for 38 years. He needs to think like an executive. And he has in his mind, like, oh, the glory years of when he was in the House and Senate, when they could negotiate on things, and the Democrats had the power for so long. And in his brain, he's like, oh, we can come to some sort of agreement. No, you can never come to an agreement with crazy people. You can't negotiate with crazy. Believe anybody who's tried. You cannot negotiate with crazy. You just tell crazy what's up, and then you let them do whatever the hell they want. Yeah, go over there, play with your toys. I don't care. I'm going to do the adult stuff and do adult things, and that's what we're going to do. So Biden leaving the 14th Amendment, the Constitution of the United States, out of the equation that says we must pay our debts, and saying, oh, no, I'm not going to invoke that, is just so stupid. Biden, just tell them you're just gonna pay our debts. You call Yellen and say, print money, pay our debts, and that's all you have to do. You don't need to placate these dipshits who are like trying to, hold the country ransom. But anyway, Bed Bath & Beyond bounced off 35 cents today, so it's up 5x since the last day of trading on the NASDAQ. All right, I'm okay. I bought enough of them at 7 cents. I think my average is 16 because I bought so many at 7 cents. But I'll take it. Let's see where this stalking horse goes on Wednesday. Is that the first? Thursday. Thursday's the first. Okay. All right. Thursday's the first. Next Thursday is when we find out the stalking horse bid. Solid. Okay. Anyway, let's get to the phones. All right. Iglamon. Woo. Homer's Ghost. Bing bong. Tristan. Kates. Will the debt ceiling be raised? Are we doomed? P.S. Happy birthday, Houston. Last night, the New York Times reported, a deal's been struck. And then today, they're like, no deal's been struck. They're still negotiating. So Biden administration says we're close to a deal. I don't know if that actually means we're close to a deal or if he's close to like giving the Freedom Caucus whatever it is they want. Because that's exactly how you negotiate with literal terrorists. Okay, Bex, I'm not sure I can stay awake for another half hour. Well, hopefully it's been an hour. I need a summary of all the poo flinging that has happened over the last couple of days. I can't keep track of it all. Happy birthday, Houston. Well, hopefully I got it in there. Tristan Cates, what will happen to the GME if the debt ceiling is raised? Well, GME would be an inverse play to the rest of the market because everyone's so short on it that when their assets crash and margin flies to the roof, GME would be something that would benefit from that. But without the ability to print, I'm not sure how the buying would happen with prime brokers because they won't have the cash on hand to buy it all. So I don't know. That's where things get hazy for me. Javi A. Houston. Did you see that pump today? Nothing is fixed in debt. Europe tensions growing and inflation not stopping. So I bought a pricey June 30th 420 put. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good put to have right there. Sincere 206. Happy birthday, Houston. How likely is it that the government let the stock market crash if they get a deal done on the debt ceiling? Would that encourage investors to flood back in the U.S. bonds? Well, I mean, if they get a deal on the debt ceiling, the markets can go, woo! Parlex 1999, buy everything, and the market's going to fly high again. And then we'll just be waiting on the REITs, the real estate investment crap. I mean, there's commercial real estate's toast. Housing market is slowing to a crawl, starting to go backwards a little bit. The number of people who are real estate agents is plummeting, and that's probably the big one to look at. Lost Ways, everyone is getting letters for the AMC suit. I have not gotten a letter yet. Danny Motes, Houston. Why do I feel like RC has an option to bike shorts, but chooses not to do anything? Bike shorts? Like spandex with the padded butt? But she's not doing anything. And also BBY price rise sign of a buyer. I think it's a sign that people are like, perhaps the stalking horse bid's going to be bigger than we were assuming before. That's what I think is happening. And it could be a sign of a buyer. What was the volume on it today? Does it show? Where am I looking? Okay, so yeah, we bounced off 35 cents, finished at 28 on Bed Bath & Beyond. And volume was 44 million. Okay, that's a lot of volume. That's 10% of all the outstanding shares. So yeah, that's a good amount of shares to be trading on a stock that the rest of us can't buy, right? And most of us don't have the opportunity to purchase those shares. So that's a lot of shares to be moving right there. And who's selling them? I'm not selling them. The retail investors are like, I'm going to sit on this thing until I get something spicy out of it. So not us. So where are those shares coming from? Danny Moots, also happy birthday. Come visit San Diego. You got a bedroom stay in, not just a couch. Bring Monkey Butt too. Monkey Butt, you want to go to San Diego? It's been a while since I've been to San Diego. I bet you'd like a fish taco. You want a fish taco? Yeah, we'll get a fish taco. I did head back down there. I need to go see my nephews, and they're down that area, Orange County. Filthy New Zealand. Wow, the U.S. stock market is truly screwed when even a high court judge can't uphold the law. I wonder how much they were paid. Kelly Reed, happy birthday, man. Hope the cake was good. Once Moaz hits off, are you gonna call your mom? Well, I talk to my mom all the time. So anyone heard that Janet Yellen is extending the debt ceiling on June 5th. It'll be moved to who knows. All I know is that this is a clown show. Buckle up. Yeah, the folks who pay their taxes like quarterly have to get their taxes in by June 15th. So maybe we're getting a little bit of push of cash coming in before the 15th. So, you know, that could be a reason. Dan Harris, it was announced that Rosa lost her fight with Injunction. Where do we go from here? It sure feels like all the air has escaped the balloon, FINRA fought. I would love to get this in front of a panel of judges and have her be able to have an oral argument in front of them saying, no, this is where it went wrong and the judge ignored it. Case law shows FINRA having to respond to injunctive relief by the courts. And that's what I'm asking for. So I would love to see that before a panel. She may do an amended complaint, get that in by the 15th. So I guess we'll see. I don't want to bother her because my guess is she's probably half deflated, half like stressed out because she has a lot of court stuff she's got to get done for other people too in that amount of time as well. So yeah. Can I read Houston? I think once the crash happens, boomers and parents calling the young generation crybabies for the past few years, not listening to us, will join us. We'll finally start to listen. Yeah. I mean, there's a select few representatives of the boomer generation probably in the chat right now. They're probably completely sundowning because it's way too late for them and they all wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, there's definitely some title change, especially if like they lose out their Social Security and everything else with a debt ceiling failure, the default. Dan Harris, is your opinion, is there a catalyst that would force shorts to close now? Debt ceiling not extended? Debt ceiling not extended will definitely throw a wrench in the gear for everybody. That will be like a black hole suddenly appearing in the middle of New York. So what will happen from that will be chaos. And it's hard to predict chaos. Dan Sullivan, party at midnight. You guys might be partying. I got another hour and 22 minutes to go. But I am, I don't know if you guys can see like the wounds all over my arms, but I've been clearing blackberries and they are eating me alive. My forearms are itchier than they've ever been in my entire life. Holy smokes. But the area I've cleared so far looks amazing. It's no longer this giant bramble of blackberries and then forest. You can like see the forest and like the actual natural undergrowth of the forest. So I managed to get, I don't know, 30 feet, maybe a little more cleared, 40 feet. I have, let's call it 400 more feet to go, 500 more feet to go. A lot. I have a lot more to go. It's a very large yard, and the blackberries ring the entire thing. But my goal this summer is to murder every single one of them, so I never have to look at one again. I love the taste of blackberries. I hate having to deal with those stupid plants. If anything, I would like to get those white raspberries that don't have thorns. I'll let those grow everywhere. I don't care. And they taste like delicious raspberries, even though they're white. And the birds won't eat them because the birds think that they aren't ripe. So they're more for me. Okay. Steve, could NextBridge issue a stock dividend now to force FINRA's hand and expose the counterfeit shares? William Morgan has talked about that. He said that they should just do a crypto dividend, overstock style. Why not? I mean, if anybody at NextBridge wants to give me a phone call, I will make 168 million crypto coins. We'll call them Problemo 2s. And you're welcome to have them. Just give me some Ethereum so I can pay the gas fees on that crap because it's expensive to make them. But, well, expensive for me, not expensive for a company that pays their CEO $2 million. But yeah, we'll make some Problemo coins. NextBridge Petroblemo coins. I don't know. And we'll issue them to all the stockholders. We'll just send them over to AST, say, yeah, give everybody one. We'll go from there. Put on T0, I don't care. Anna Friend, aloha from Wahoo. Did you get your AMC postcard yet? What does that even mean? I have not gotten my AMC postcard, so I haven't seen it yet. Dennis Sullivan, what would happen to my half-assed Army Reserve retirement and my Social Security? Oh, if the default happens, you won't get any money. Yeah, I mean, they have no money. It's gone. So you might get a check, and then the check from the government would just bounce. So anyone who works for the government, you wouldn't get a paycheck, or if you did, it would bounce. Anyone with Social Security wouldn't get the Social Security. If you did, it would bounce. Yeah. So that's the whole everything collapses and we are eating our neighbors. Javi A, I want MOAs to happen, but B, I'll be realistic. I have 500 GME shares, but I'm going to diversify and get more UVXY, Dole, and gold stocks like KGC. Any other stable investment you can think of? I mean, good dividend stocks are good dividend stocks. Healthcare companies, health insurance companies are absolutely evil, but they're like among the most profitable companies you could possibly imagine because they're evil. Like they're giving this money and the money's supposed to like pay for people's treatment. And they go, no, I'm going to give it to shareholders instead. And that's, I mean, you might as well join the evil people if you want to make some money. Dennis Sullivan, they should work on setting the debt ceiling. How dare they go home for 3-day weekend? Yeah. That's why they didn't have the MMTLP thing today, because too many staffers were like, peace, I'm going rock climbing, or whatever it is that young staffers do in DC. Okay, Javi A, head up. I'm on a road trip. My wife is driving, and she said if you bore her, she will make me take it off. I hope it's a good show. It always is for me. Keep doing what you're doing. Javi A's wife, I've got 200 weirdos at midnight hanging out with me. It's got to count for something. It's literally 1 in 1 million adults right now are hanging out on my show. Latinum just read that Rosa lost her case from Due Diligence Thoughts. Oh, I went through that already. System 54, Houston. Fidelity would not allow me to buy options for BBBYQ even after calling them. They said it was due to the situation with the stock, the bankruptcy. Tell them, so what? That does not change the fact that the options exist. Quit being my babysitter and let me do whatever I want with money, as reckless as it may be. You put a warning on when I signed up for your site saying you might lose everything. Duh. Duh. It's a lotto ticket play, you dumb namby-pambies. Let me do what I want. Also, like, if they let me buy this week at 1 cent, it went to 2 cents. I would have doubled my money. Right there. 100%. 2x in 1 day if they let me buy. Freaking nannies. Bill Cooper. So it's now Mark B gets blue sheets. If not, then we are effed. Then what happens? Annoy Congress, annoy the SEC, annoy FINRA, annoy everybody forever until they quit their jobs and someone new comes in, and then we annoy them. And they go, they didn't tell me this is what the job is going to be. I would have to sit down and listen to these annoying 65,000 people day in, day out of my entire life. And I can never get a moment of peace because they're like, bring, bring, bring. Hello, SEC office. Yeah, I want to talk to you about MMTLP and next periods, and go, oh my God, they don't pay me enough for this. And eventually, they'll do the right thing. That's what you do. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's Liddy. How's it, Houston? Is Rosa able to take her case to the higher court? I would hope so. It has not been dismissed with prejudice, so I'd hope so. Nolan Fansler, what is the difference between buying BBBY versus BBBYQ? There is no BBBY. BBBY does not exist. Only BBBYQ does. That's the difference. Because they're in bankruptcy, the stock got a Q at the end, and now it's BBBYQ. Guitar stuff. Houston, what's the highest peak or point that you have scaled? Mount Rainier, 14,411. Yeah, Mount Rainier. I haven't yet been to like Nepal or South America or anything. Well, Mount Rainier. Yep. I climbed Mount Rainier summer after 8th grade. It was an experience. If I'm going to climb something, there has to be two things in it for me. One, money. Like I'm going to climb up a hill or a cliff or whatever and get some cool rocks or gold or something. Or two, I get to ski down. And after climbing Mount Rainier, I didn't get to ski down. I had to walk down. I was like, this sucks. I walked all the way up here. It was a beautiful day. Had an awesome view. I have no idea where the pictures are because pre-digital anything, and those could be anywhere. But I was like, yeah, mountain climbing isn't for me. My friend Garrett Madison, he got the Triple Crown. He climbed all 10,000 meter. What is it? 9,000 meter peaks. Lhotse, Everest, and the other one, all in the same climbing season. So that's cool. He's a Bainbridge guy. He sort of took over for Garrett, Ed Viesters. After Ed Viesters was like the top climbing guy in the entire world, and then Garrett kind of took over for him. So got a couple of sea-level Bainbridge people as the two top climbers in the world. Not too shabby. You can also see him in that movie 14 Peaks. He was interviewed in it because he was at K2 the day that they were scaling K2 to get trying to get all 8,000 meter peaks in one season. So that was pretty impressive. And guitar stuff. Also, happy birthday. What's something that post MOAS you would not do? Something post MOAS that I would not do. Something post MOAS that I would not do. I would probably never do my own yard work again. I will gladly spread the love and let somebody else do the yard work, and I will sit there with a lemonade and critique them. That's what I would do. I will never do yard work again post MOAS. Ron Johnson, how fast are you moving, Houston? You appear to be sitting still, but you're on Earth, which is rotating, which is also rotating around the sun, and the sun spins the Milky Way galaxy, which moves also. Well, Earth rotates at the equator roughly 1,000 miles an hour. I'm at the 48 degree latitude, which means I'm probably moving at 600-700 miles an hour up here. The Earth itself is going around the sun at 66,000 miles an hour on average, a little faster apogee versus perigee. The sun is moving through the Milky Way at about 120 kilometers per second. So that's 300,000 feet per second. By 5, 60,000, 600 miles per second. Is that right? Did the numbers work out right? Yeah, about 600 miles per second. No, that's not right. Like 80 miles per second. That's somewhere in there. So, monkey butt. We're hauling ass. And the Milky Way is moving at whatever speed towards Andromeda Galaxy, and we're going to collide in a couple of billion years. I don't know how, it's appreciable speed. We're at 2.2 million light years apart right now, so we got some time. It's Liddy. Houston, do you have any spy puts? Not financial advice. Not yet. Not yet. I am just trying to play with BBBY at the moment and seeing if I can convince Fidelity to just let me gamble my money here, man. Because you'll know by like the 16th if something's going to happen. So just let me do it. Let me be an adult and throw in my money. Sincere. I can't wait for all this to burn to the ground. The market is so fraudulent, I just want my money out. The stuff with Rosa's case is infuriating, complete BS. Indeed. It is stinky BS is what it is. Thonsies a shade 'em. Sooner or later, someone or some group who got screwed in this will take matters in their own hands, and that's what people do these days. Yeah. I mean, we see in the news every day that someone who's been fed up just goes, all right, well, if you're going to screw me, I'm going to screw all of you. What are you doing? Oh, there's probably a deer out in the yard. You can smell them. Is that what's happening? Is there a deer outside eating and you really want to go out and mess with them? Well, the thing is, I'm doing a show, so we can't go mess with the deer right now because I have to be locked in this hot room for another hour and 9 minutes. All right? Do you understand? Does it make sense to you? No. All you can think is, I want to go chase a deer. It's in the yard right now. It's in my DNA. I must murder. But no, you gotta hang out. Hang tight. Chief on YYC. Honestly, HW, is much more likely he read the filing and would rather play dumb than run the financial system. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, probably. Just imagine, though, like the stones you would have as a federal judge. Be like, you know what? This intrigues me. Let's run with it. Let's see where it goes. Let's see if we can make a precedent-setting case. And will FINRA appeal? If so, what are they going to say? Are they going to appeal and not have to follow through with what I said before then? They're going to get some sort of stay from a higher court, emergency injunction, perhaps. I want judges with fortitude, with some nuts on them, to like just look at the system and go, yeah, you know what, this is messed up. Let's keep them in check. Let's keep them in check. Hans Worst. Of course, the judge has not read anything. He decides, like, as over, let's want him to. That's, you know, that's the conspiracy, and that appears to be how it went. I'm not going to read these 200 pages of well-sourced stuff. I'm just going to pretend like you didn't submit anything worth reading. And that's what we have. Roy stupid, it's Florida. Dollars Donuts, he's ruling against Rosa for no reason other than she swears than what she wears on her head. Well, it is a Democrat-appointed judge in Florida. I usually don't care about that stuff. Triple D, if the judge laid down the law, it's something you must respect. Not if they laid it down wrong. I mean, courts get things wrong all the time. That's why the appeals process. Dude, you're not going to go chase the deer. You're hanging out. That's what you're going to do. Come on. Come on. Nope, not up on top of me. No, we're not chasing the deer. Come on. Get up there. Get up there. Hang out up there. Chill out. Yep. You can look at me over your shoulder like a weirdo. Peachy Sunday. Can't everyone pay Rosa $1 retainer and just become her client who is being damaged monetarily? I don't know. We can ask Rosa if that would work. I'd pay $1. Since year 206, why is it so hard to get in front of an actual judge? This is another interesting thing, is that the judge, Rosa kept asking for a hearing, and the judge never granted her a hearing, and he made this ruling with 0 oral arguments. So therefore, there's no record. There's no transcript. There's nothing of Rosa saying, Your Honor, you obviously didn't read what I wrote, because in there I was able to point out concisely and purposely how I was injured and why FINRA is at fault. But instead, the judge makes a ruling without ever hearing oral arguments from either side in a hearing. This is... It's sketchy, dude. It's very sketchy. Not bored enough? Anyone here from Wyoming or one of the Dakotas? I think Andrew Stewart is in Wyoming, if I remember correctly. Senior Butts McGee. Is MMAT being manipulated because of MTLP? It went to hell since December. Yep. Probably very likely. Don't see you shade him. I'm down for trolling politicians. Good. Good. Citizen 54. I would love to file the complaint in my area, but I'm not a lawyer. What if I get asked to appear in court and explain my case? I would be outwitted. That's another problem. So, no one can afford a lawyer. So maybe we just need lawyers in the community to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll file. I'll file in North Dakota or whatever. Come on, North Dakota lawyers. One of you. Out of 65,000 people, there has to be at least one North Dakota lawyer in there. Jay Geyser, judge doesn't want to be named the one that ruined the financial system. Blame. Waiting to blame something else. Blame it on Russia, the Republican debt ceiling, Taiwan, etc. Someone else, not shorts. Yeah. Noob Entertainment, my crew. Happy birthday, Houston. Thank you. Iggy Lamone. Don't associate him. Hi. Don't associate him. Iggy. Hello. Iggy Houston. I think Hickle is trying to buy time by forcing her to file elsewhere. They'll kick it back to him, and he knows this. He's going to look bad, and he can have a formal complaint hurled at him. Maybe he does want her to go in front of a panel and have them say definitively whether FINRA can experience injunctive relief. All right. I said do it. Aaron Salentine. So hi, Houston. I loaded up on VIX shares, 25 shares, and 5 VIX calls. Way outside the money, expiring June 16th. June 6th, VIX scream, default baby. Aaron needs some rent money. Lol. Well, I got $1,000 cash sitting in Fidelity, waiting to try and get BBBYQ. If they let me do it, I may have to go play the VIX and see what happens. Also, finally made it to 500 shares of GTII. Keep buying, Houston. We squeeze soon. $500 a share is the low of the target. Well, one can hope. Aaron Something else. What do you think? Do we default? I mean, we got a week from Sunday is the expected date. So we have 9 days, eight and a half days until we default. This is bigger brinksmanship than I think we had. I think we'll probably get a credit downgrade from Moody's or sometime this week. That they're going to be like, all right, we're going to downgrade you from AAA to something else, which may hurt the ability of using U.S. Treasury bonds as collateral, which will basically make it so that it's impossible to have any collateral on Earth. They're like, nothing can be used for collateral because nothing has a good enough rating for collateral anymore. That might be what it comes down to. Well, McWool, get a goat. Have you eat the blackbird bushes? Everyone wants me to get a goat, but you have to understand that Monkey hates goats with a passion of 1,000 fires. Any goat in the property, I'm not sure who will kill who, but Monkey will definitely try to kill the goat, and the goat may headbutt Monkey's skull into the ground. So she just really does not think goats should exist. They're an abomination, and it is her sole duty to rid the world of them. And look at her right now. She's like totally sniffing the air because she knows that something's in the yard going munch, munch, munch. And she wants to go murder it because there's probably a goat out there for me to go kill. So I'd love to have goats. Goats are hilarious, but monkey butt and goats are oil and water, baby. Oh, Jason Blackwell, my joke that bad? Are you on Top Chat? And I'm on Top Chat. Damn it. I forgot to go. So if I missed your chats, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Jason Blackwell. Let's see one from Jason Noob Entertainment. Jake Geyser. Huh. Weird. I am seeing stuff from a couple of people finally that I didn't see before. All right. So, Dr. Spurgeon, the Sturgeon Surgeon. Tea times are a bitch sometimes. He was probably running late. Dr. Spurgeon, the Sturgeon Surgeon. Is he gonna let the economy crash so he can swoop in with his cape and aviators and save the day a week later? Maybe. That might be what they're trying to do. Cadian prime brokers are backed by the DTCC. They would be liquidated, and what they could not pay for the DTCC would have to pay up. If the DTCC can't pay, then it would run through the SROs, then the Fed. I don't think there's enough money at the DTCC. I don't think there's enough money at the prime brokers. I don't think there's enough money in the insurance companies. I don't think there's enough money in the collateral of the hedge funds to handle any of this. It's going to have to be the Fed printing. And the Fed can't print until they get a debt ceiling, raised. So it's going to be weird. But Jason Blackwell, I don't see your joke. Let's see here. Kate's, that one's on top chat too. How do I? You may have to throw your joke in here again, Jason Blackwell, because I don't see it. It may have been before. I got cut off at 10:08 p.m. So anything that was written before then is now gone once I switch to live chat. Why can't I make live chat standard rather than top chat, YouTube? Why do you always revert back to the one that's annoying? I don't know. Bravo Delta. In the event of a default, government employees will get paid. Checks will be backdated and would not bounce. They'll just be a tad late is all. They'll get paid eventually if and when the debt ceiling is raised. Hi, 3328. Houston, what do you think about GTII? I'm looking and waiting to see what happens. It seems like the CEO really hates shorts, and I'm all for that. Let's see what happens. I don't personally own any, but my guess is things are gonna get hairy, and I'm waiting for it. Crab people. I'm not a weirdo. Dan Harris calls crypto coins eat shit shorters. Nextbridge has come out with their eat shit coin. I like that. Avocados, no notifications, boo. Also, not sure how late I can stay awake. Did enjoy the shirt being part of the Pentagon flash crash and Stone Kitty Chalupa. The cat came in here, ate this thing right before the show, and then went off and is tripping somewhere. He's on a vision quest, I think, through the living room. He'll be like, my spirit animal is a cat. I just discovered. Iglamone. TD let me buy some shares a week or two ago. They might still let you? Well, So it sounds like everyone's being TD to poorly gamble. Mike, Houston. Is stacking physical silver a good idea? I mean, metals like gold and silver and platinums, group metals, they hold their value. There's not huge fluctuations in price. And if the economy crashes, their value goes up. Problem with physically stacking that is you have to have, safe deposit box, a hell of a safe, things like that people can't come and take it from you. So that's what you need. Get a safe deposit box. That's what I say. Best way to do it. Blink. It's in the box. Don't have to worry about it. When it comes time to sell, well, then you can worry about that then. Bravo Delta, treat for the monkey butt. Well, she didn't get to go chase her deer, so we may as well treat it up, huh? Oh yeah, that will calm the nerves, right? Yeah, chase this cow right here. Chase the cow, monkey butt. Whew, so beefy. On top of the printer. Okay, one little guy. You can get the little guy. Want to get it right there? Oh, there you go. Yep, the cat wants to come in. We'll get you to do jaws. There we go. Come in, stoner, you drug addict. There you are. Okay. Cat's here, dog's here. It's a party. That's it. That's all you got. Anton Hasenkamp. Houston, do you think the judge was bribed? No, I think the judge was lazy. Or I think the clerk for the judge was lazy. And they're like, don't worry about it, judge. I'll pump out this 4 pages for you, and it'll be a thing of the past. Cattail karaoke. All right, Cat. You gotta keep moving. Get away the screen. Move. Keep going. Keep moving. Move your butt. There you go. Now move your tail. J. King. Good morning, Houston. Thanks for the late night. Previously, you were talking about how fast we're all moving through the universe. What would happen if it all stopped? We would turn to pink mist. That would be it. We would just liquefy, and that would be the end of it all. Triple D, Houston, why do you not use a window AC unit? Because the window opens like this, and window AC unit does not fit in there. That's why. So I just roast. Just sweaty roastness. Yas. Will AI improve the rate of progress of the human according to Kardashev? Thank you. No. I think AI will result in us being lazy and stupid, and eventually AI probably killing all of us. I'm very pessimistic about that, but there'll be some cool uses that we get out of it for sure. But for the most part, people are going to get even lazier and more stupid than they've ever been in their entire existence, and we're just going to be dumbing ourselves down even more. Yeah. J. King, Houston. What can you do when you clearly see a judge isn't reading your complaints? I think you gotta appeal. Senior Butts McGee, Houston, have you seen the movie Slapshot? The Real Hanson Brothers. It's been 30 years since I saw Slapshot. I should probably watch it again. It's remember it being funny, but I don't remember much else. Yeah. Peachy Sunday. So the farmers vote for people that ban their immigrant workers. Now nobody works the field and harvests are left rotten, unpicked. That seems to be happens quite a bit. I mean, you got older folks that vote for politicians who want to eliminate their Social Security, right? Or they vote for people who want them to die during COVID. Why should we care about other people? Just, let's party and then breathe on the old people. That seems to be the way things go. People like to vote for those who will destroy them. And I don't really understand actively trying to murder your voter base. that too escapes any logic. Like, okay, here's the plan. We're to get these people to vote for us, and then we're going to kill them all. And then we'll get reelected by somebody else. I don't know. Seems like a strange platform to be on. Dean C. Why would anyone invest solely in U.S. markets? Because this was the place to invest for so long. But my guess is, with all the shenanigans going on, we aren't going to be a place to invest anymore. There'll be someone else whose exchange will take on the flag. Dr. Spurgeon. Excuse me. The Sturgeon Surgeon. I didn't mean to yawn saying your name and just hit me really hard. US double intro now free malfeasance. Colonizing the moon is a necessity. We need the minerals on the moon to basically power our civilization for the next 10,000 years. So, we're going to do it. We have to do it. Oh, hello. There you go. Jason Blackwell. From your junior VP of communications, hey Houston, I heard R. Kelly wants to play in the NBA. He'll do well with the Pistons. 8-3D, 4D, 3D. Any car can be off-road if you don't give a shit. Yes, drive it like you rented it. Justin G. Houston, what's up with Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice the Star? Currently it's been pumping, which means it's starting to be unstable. And if it's starting to be unstable, a star that size unstable could go supernova. So everyone's like, ooh, go supernova. But if Betelgeuse does go supernova, it's about 500 light years away. It's about the cusp of where it might double the output of the sun as far as light is concerned for, a couple of weeks. Which means if it happens at night, we might not have a night sky if Betelgeuse goes supernova, at least for, a week or two. Also, neutron flux, if you're 100 light years away, that's enough to like sanitize the surface of the Earth. 500 light years away, we would be at, 1 over r squared. We'd be at 1/25th the amount of neutron flux as it would be if we were at 100 light years. So I'd wear sunscreen and stay inside for a while. Even those neutrons can definitely penetrate walls and things pretty easily. So, wear a lead hat or something. Cancer rates will go as a result of Betelgeuse going supernova, that's for sure. But man, would that just be a hell of an event to record before we all turn into like a pile of shredded DNA ooze. Dr. Spurgeon the Sturgeon Surgeon. What's your favorite crab? I like Dungeness, but there's nothing like a big old king crab leg. Dungeness is what we hear mostly because, Dungeness spit is here. But I've never had a soft shell crab. I've had spider crab. I've had king crab. The Dungeness. I've had other crabs, monkey. I have no idea what's in like generic crab you get in like a sandwich or crab Louie. I don't know, whatever crab might be in there. But I've never had like the soft shell crabs they have out in Maryland that everyone loves. Never had one of those. Moas will drive out there and eat some, huh, monks? But the ocean sushi, they're all you can eat. It had king crab and spider crab legs. Sorry, Tsunami Grill, Ocean Sushi's sister restaurant in Hilo, which I don't think exists anymore. But $14 on Tuesdays, all you can eat. And I'll say that me and my very large roommates probably single-handedly put them out of business. Because you tell me all you can eat and you're putting out crab legs, I'm eating all the crab legs. I will eat them and 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 eat them until I puke. And that's what I'll do. I will eat $1,000 of crab legs for $14.99 until you make it I can't eat them anymore by going out of business. Right, monkey? You would love a crab leg. Oh my goodness, look at that dog. That's the face of a dog who would love a crab leg right there. Aaron Salentine. Think of TGIS this way. Think of it this way. You buy GTII at 98 cents right now. It's like buying GME at $2 in 2020. The universe is flashing, buy me now. Second opportunity awaits you. Did I convince you, Houston? If I can't get the BBBYQ and get my 500X on that, then maybe I'll go get some GTII. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some VIX. I don't know. There's so many things out there. Aaron Salentine, if Jim Cramer says sell, GTII, you buy, is all part of the plan, Houston. Mike, like some king crab. Oh, snow crab. I've had snow crab too. I've liked snow crab. The thing about crab is that as long as there's butter involved or some bouillabaisse or something, it's gonna be delicious. Jay Geyser, what about AI looking through genome to find brain enhancements, China CRISPR style? Cool. I'm game for that. Make us smarter than we are. That'd be fantastic. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if we took dumb couples that are just and they're pregnant and they go to the doctor with ultrasounds like, okay, you're gonna have a dumb baby. So what I'm gonna do is take this big ass needle, I'm gonna inject into its little protoplasm this goo, and you're gonna have a baby that's smarter than you, because quite frankly, the earth is fucked unless we have smarter children, because you two idiots are gonna make them dumber. And be like, whoa, but yeah, let's do it. Let's make some smart babies. Senior Butts McGee, Houston, you need AC floor unit like the Wenato 1300 BTU portable air conditioner. What I want is MOAS to happen, right? And then for like $8,000, I rip out the stupid oil furnace I have in this house, and I put in a forced air system. Because I got the ducting, and I can be like, make it cool in here. Because right now, all I can do is make it hot and really expensive. Because oil furnaces are stupid. Yeah. Because who doesn't love spending $3,000 on oil every winter to keep from freezing to death? What a dumb system that is. No, MOAS homeboy is getting a forced air system, so I can be warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Sid54, Houston. Did you see that Elon Musk Neuralink says it has FDA approval for human trials? Thoughts? I would like to think no one would volunteer for this. If I were the FDA, I would not have approved this. They basically put staph infection into the skulls of every single solitary creature they did experiments on. The thing about Elon Musk is someone does something. They invent the technology. They do an implant. Gonna say it's a cochlear implant, or maybe the eye implants that allow people to kind of see, and you know, the implants that allow someone who is paralyzed to like move their legs. Like, their implants exist. They've done experimentation on animals and humans. They got to the point where they're able to use these things. And Elon Musk, knowing full well that there are systems in place and parameters in place and what works, says, no, I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to do it my way and learn all these lessons the hard way, and eventually rots monkey brains with staph infections and tortures poor animals for a long time, because they're like, oh, maybe we've got to like clean the incision site and wash our hands before we do this. I don't know why it's taking them so long. It's like how Boston Dynamics has these incredible robots that they've been making, that like the dogs and the things that can carry the boxes around. And you like push them over the stick and they pop up at work. And then Elon talks about his android, which is like 3 decades behind and has to be held upright by like 6 men. He does not seem to know how to stand on the shoulders of giants. He's like, I'm going to start from the very beginning, and I'm going to make sure that I give meningitis to every single solitary thing that touches my Neuralink device. I would never, ever let that man put anything inside my body. And what's crazy is you've got all these weirdos like Tim Pool and stuff who told you not to get vaccinated because remember microchips and the vaccines that will gladly let this billionaire microchip their brain. But granted, for Tim Pool, though, anything. I mean, staph infection in the brain is probably an enhancement over his normal cognitive process. So, you know, nowhere to go but up for that guy. But, yeah. Mike, Houston, do you trust the WHO? I mean, like, in general? Like, if I'm in a war zone and I need the World Health Organization to, like, you know, make sure that I get a doctor and treatment, yes. I do think that they take too much money from the Chinese and didn't quite do their job when it came time to say that, yeah, COVID's coming and it's coming hard. Should have been a bit more forceful in that respect. Mike C., do you think we'll ever get our money back from MTLP? Not a clue. But we got to be as annoying as hell until then. Cat, you're being weird. Stop being weird. Scratch your little skull off your head. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scratch your brain out, just like Elon Musk. I'm going to make a fingernail implant scratching your skull. Okay. What happened? Something crab cakes. Senior Butts McGee, Baltimore crab cakes, crab soup, blue crabs, baby. I've never had them, so I will have to try them when I head out that way. Senior Butts McGee, yo, soft shell crabs is delicious, especially when it is deep fried. Okay. System 54, what will be some drawbacks to immortality besides outliving your family, friends, etc.? Boredom? Been there, done that? And eventually you're like, well, what now? So I think that's the biggest drawback to immortality is boredom. Absolute, like, I've done it all. I've seen every show in existence. I've visited every country. I've met every type of person I could possibly meet. I've seen all the things. And I am so incredibly bored right now that maybe every once in a while, as an immortal, you have to get your brain scrambled by Elon Musk's Neuralink and get some staph infection in your brain and start all over again. And it'll be fresh and new. Repeat. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Aaron Salentine. Every company should issue $100 crypto dividend at the same time. Watch the shorts scream, Holy Mary. I like that. We're all going to issue different crypto dividends at the same time. Ha! These can be used to see 5 shows in the theater. Whatever. I don't know. Cat, you are in the way. You're in the way, you stoned little monster. Peterson 9, do you think there'll be a resolution in place by June 2nd before FINRA has to show blue sheets, or will they BS their way through the New York petition? And big plans for the long weekend? My plans for the long weekend are, 1, tomorrow, I go slice up my forearm some more, murdering some blackberries. Sometime between like noon and 5 p.m., Xfinity will be here to figure out why the internet drops out every once in a while. I was the one who called them. Xfinity contacted me and they're like, we've noticed that your internet's weird. And for some reason, disappears at times. I'm like, huh, it does. And I didn't call you about this. So we're going to send a technician out to like run new wires or something. So they'll be here sometime tomorrow. Sunday, Monkey Butt, my friend Ricardo and I are going to Seattle. Ricardo has really wanted some fantastic pasta. And the best pasta in Seattle is at Pasta Casalinga, which is in Pike Place Market, owned by my friends Nathan and Michaela. And it is mind-blowing. Michaela is from Italy. She's from the Piedmont region. And Nathan is a pasta maker, pizza maker guy from here on the island. And they partnered together, and my God, is it amazing. The wild boar ragu might be a top 10 meal I've had. And so Ricardo has been wanting some good pasta. And so far the pasta he's had locally, he's from Ecuador, and locally has just not been hitting the spot. So we're gonna have a nice walk in the city on Sunday and go get some pasta. And I don't know what we're gonna do. What else do we want to do, Monkey? Sunday. I might be playing some baseball Sunday evening. Old guys, trying to get in shape for the 4th of July charity game. So we might be starting that this Sunday. Maybe it's next Sunday. But anyway, baseball's coming, and it is baseball season for old guys. I'll pitch batting practice and then never be able to move my arm again. That's what's going to happen. Dr. Spurgeon, sturgeon, soft shell crab is common in the Pacific Northwest. I thought, weird. I don't know of any soft shell crabs we have here. I've only ever had, we go out crabbing, drop some pots and go crabbing, we get Dungeness. Dungeness is everywhere. And some you might get some little rock crabs, but then you just throw those guys back because they're so small. But I don't know if we have soft shell crabs here. If we do, I've never pulled them out of a crab pot. But man, going out crabbing and getting some Dungeness is fantastic. Because crabbing season, we go out in the sailboat, and as we're leaving the harbor, we drop some pots. We go sail for a couple hours, come back, pick the pots up, and we've got dinner for weeks. The number of crabs you can get out of it is just phenomenal. I don't know what your methods are, but we discovered that you can take a lady's nylon, right? Nylon legging, tights, whatever, and you fill it with like chum. Fill it with whatever, monkey brains, chicken livers, whatever. Fill those suckers in there, put in the crab pot, and let it sit there. And then all the crabs come in, and they just cannot get the ladies' leggings open, and they're just frustrated. And so many of them pile them in there, and you just pull up just a boatload of crab, and it is delicious. It looks like Tsunami is temporarily closed. Is it? This it? Oh, Tsunami Grill. No, not Honolulu. It's in Hilo. Tsunami Grill is in Hilo. I don't know. I don't think they exist anymore. Ocean Sushi Hilo. Ocean Sushi still exists in Hilo. Looks like they moved. Did they move? So Ocean Sushi exists. Ocean Sushi was one side of the street. Tsunami Grill is the other side of the street. And you can order off either menu because it was actually the same restaurant. And like if you order sushi at Tsunami Grill, you could watch like your sushi run across the street to you. And if you got like, I don't know, tempura fried crab legs or whatever at Ocean Sushi, you'd see some guy run across the street with your fried things. But it looks like Ocean Sushi still exists. The Tsunami Grill. Tsunami Grill Hilo. Oh, Tsunami Grill and Tempura, 250 Kawai Street, Hilo. What? That's Yelp. Let's see here. Do you have a date for this? Choices. Heard of this place early last year before COVID. Well, okay. It sounds like they still exist. What? They still do all you can eat on Tuesdays? Can I buy a ticket, fly to Hilo, and absolutely wreck their bottom line? Okay. Do they have a website? Picks Restaurant, Tempura, and Hilo. Open 24 hours. Oh, it's Tsunami Clock of Doom. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Tsunami Grill. 10 best restaurants in the Tsunami Museum. Okay, well, last time I was in Hilo, everyone told me they closed. Looks like they're still going here, but here they're saying the price range is $3 signs? What? I must have really hurt their bottom line 20 years ago when I was in college. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Monkey Butt, you won't get to enjoy it because you have to go through like 6 weeks of quarantine. And then we'd have to fly home by then. So, no, I get to enjoy it. Anton Hassenkampf. Houston, do you think big tech stocks like Apple, Microsoft, etc. are artificially pumped up by short hedge funds for collateral? No, I think they're artificially pumped up through stock buybacks. They are buying back, they're spending hundreds of billions of dollars buying back their own stock so that their profits to earnings don't change. And their earnings per share don't change. So that's entirely the reason why they get pumped, because they got all this extra cash on hand because they charge us too much money for everything. Pacific Northwest Texan. Heading to the Packwood mile-long flea market tomorrow. Heard it's a banger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Dr. Spurgeon, the Surgeon. Senior Bus McGee. Are blue crabs East Coast? I never had that one. Yes, they are Chesapeake Bay-ish, I believe. Peachy Sunday, the speed of light is 299,792. 299,792. Oh, no, it's meters. I think I'm doing kilometers. 299,792,458 meters per second, which is the exact latitude of the Pyramid Giza. 99th probability coincidence. Pyramid Gardens, Sphinx, International Airport. Pyramids are right about Meow, right? I thought they were. They were about Meow. Golf. There's a couple golf courses. Then there's pyramids. Where is a pyramid? Great Pyramid. Giza. Bam, bam. Oh, there's a great. I was close to it. I knew it was right around there. Okay. Great Pyramid. The center of the Great Pyramid is 295845. So if I drop a pin, I'm not sure exactly what this would be in minutes. Okay. Oops. Wait. I wanted that open so I could crap. Properties. There we go. Okay. So I want to take that and I'll put that into, it's pretty close to 22. It's 58. So copy. Let's put this sucker into there. We will turn off Google Earth. We will bam, bam, into decimal. We're at latitude, longitude, minute, seconds, and decimal. I don't want to do the math, so let's do latitude 29, 58. I forgot the rest of it was. 58 what? 58. 4504. 45.04. Okay, convert. 29 becomes 29,979,177,775. It's close. It's close. It's very close. 792. This is 29,791. Oh, 792. That's pretty darn close. Right there. But I think it's more coincidence because the 365 degree ratio that we made for the globe wasn't invented until recent times. The reason why I made 365 degrees, or sorry, 360 degrees, is because we thought the Earth took 360 days to go around the sun. And so one day was 1 degree around the sun, but that math was wrong. It was 365 and a quarter days. So, I think it's more coincidence than anything. More coincidence than anything. It's close. Aaron Salentine, can you tell Rosa for me when she gets MMTLP 2 trading days approved through the courts to resume, I'll buy her a gas stove as a gracias of selling my 1,678 MMTLP shares at $4,000 a share. Okay. Senior Butts McGee. Yes, Maryland crab is one of the favorite foods. One reason I can't stand vegans. Mike, Elon got approval for the brain chip testing from FDA. Anyone who signs up for that, I'll be praying for you. I'm not a religious man, but I'll be saying bless your heart. Aaron Salentine, you grab $1 million, buy shares between 20 and up to 30%, and never work again. Beautiful plan. I like it. Senior Bus McGee, Dr. Spurgeon, the Sturgeon Surgeon. If you ever seen My Name is Earl, the Crab Shack is a real thing in Maryland. Usually smells like Old Bay. All right. Nancy's here. Hey, Nancy. Dr. Spurgeon, the Surgeon Surgeon. Bucket list. I've been to Maine, mostly lobstered myself into a coma. That's also something to do. I have friends that live on the Bay of Fundy up in Nova Scotia. And there's like these little lobster huts all over the place. And the locals don't eat the lobsters just for the tourists. Like, why would you eat this like sea spider thing? I don't get it. Maybe times have changed since then. Iggy Limon, Houston, you should watch The Only Lovers Left Alive. It looks at eternity through the eyes of some regular people who became vampires. All right. I watched that one movie, The Man from, what was it called, Monkey? Someone was, have you watched it? They asked me constantly, and it was about the caveman who lived to today and was a professor in New Mexico. And I already forgot. I watched a sequel to it as well. Made you think a little bit. Could have been a little longer. Could have had a little more. I don't know. Very low budget. First one looked like it was filmed on somebody's like handy cam. Nancy, Houston, hope you'll be well. Well, thank you, Nancy. Hope you are well as well. Do some lives with the food. Yeah. Senior Buds, I love how crab this conversation is getting. Aaron Saltine, Alaska fish and chip style in Santa Cruz on the pier is so good. Amazing food to eat. Recommended. If you want fish and chips, and you want, it might be the best fish and chips in the United States, you come to where I live. Proper Fish, founded by my friend Harvey Wolf, Sir Harvey Wolf. He was knighted by the Queen. And have some proper fish, because he got here to the North U.S. and he's like, well, you guys do have fish and chips here, but it's just not good enough. And back home, it's much better. And I'm going to improve on it even more because I am one of the world's greatest chefs. So Harvey Wolf made a restaurant called Proper Fish, and you get a fillet that's like that with some mushy peas and fresh tartar, and it is. I love the whitefish too. Oh, the whitefish are so good. He also has a crab louie, a couple other things you can get there. Actually, Harvey doesn't own it anymore. He got ill, got cancer, gave it to his employees. He's like, I don't know if I'll last. I have to go back home to England to get treatment. Here's the restaurant, employees. You guys own it now. So he's a very, 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 very giving, awesome man. And man, the fish and chips are good. They're so good. Mike loves some lobster rolls. Oh, you can also get, sorry, not crab louie, is lobster rolls. You can get it at Proper Fish. Dr. Sturgeon. Houston, I know it's a tourist trap, but I'm a sucker for the Pike Place Market where they toss all the seafood at your table and eat some Cro-Magnon man. Fun times. Oh, that's Crab Shack. I love Crab Shack. It's awesome. My niece and nephew love the Crab Shack too. So we do it like once a year and they just dump it and you just eat like cavemen. It's fantastic. Never wear clothes you expect to wear again. Wear garbage because you will be disgusting and you will smell like rotted fish at the end of that meal. If you work there, you are like burning your clothes every week because you just will always smell just terrible if you work at the Crab Shack. But man, I do love me some Crab Shack out on Miners Landing. Down the water. Cat, you are such a freak. You are such a stone little freak. Do we have to have an intervention for you, kitty? I lost my place. Aaron Salentine. I ate sirloin steak, 8 ounces today in Sacramento with broccoli and mashed potatoes from Applebee's. Good $22 well spent. Always go. I heard Applebee's. What was the Applebee's joke I heard recently? What do they call a chef at Applebee's? The microwave, something like that. Cat, let go of my finger. Ow. Ow. I need to murder. I'm scratching your head. I used to wait, never had Old Bay. People use that in Maryland like hot sauce, put it on pizza. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever had Old Bay. I've heard about it. If it's been on something, I didn't know it. So cannot say I've actually had it. I don't know. Andrew Dowell, morning Houston. Do you think CBDC will replace dollar? Not yet. We talked about it before. I think the fact that a large part of the world can't use digital anything because they don't have electricity or internet or, stuff like that. And that paper money is the way to go. And the reason why the US dollar is king is because we flooded the rest of the world with dollars. If I were to go to, Zimbabwe or something, and I wanted to do things, I can give them the local currency. They'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. I could offer them US dollars and I would be their king. That's how it works. The fact that the US government can just push our cash out there anywhere and it can be used as a currency in any country on earth, it was what makes us king. And if you replace the paper money with CBDCs, you all of a sudden have reduced who can use your money by about 60%. And so if a CBDC comes along, central bank digital currency comes along and is used by the general public, it'll be used in tandem with cash money. Simply because we need the rest of the world spending our money, wanting our money, using our money. Aaron Salentine says gold and silver replace the dollar. The thing about gold and silver is that gold and silver are heavy as shit. That's why you want paper. Okay, you have a backpack full of Kruger ants. Awesome. You can't lift it off the ground. And if someone wants to take it from you, they just push you over. And then you can't get up. You're pinned to the ground until they empty enough Kruger ants you can do a push-up. That's why you want paper. Because it doesn't weigh as much. But even then, too much paper is a lot. So that's why you get a $30 million necklace at Sotheby's and you put it around your neck and you fly to wherever you need to go to take $30 million somewhere. That's what the main purpose of digital currency is it weighs nothing and you can just send it across the tubes of the internet and it will land somewhere else. And you've just moved huge amounts of wealth across international borders without having to lift anything except for your phone. Cat, you're such a little squirrel. Nancy, when are you coming to Pakistan? Because I really like you. I had not put it on my list. I did watch a really cool video about these guys who were mining gold and emeralds from a river in Pakistan. It looked really cool. I'd love to go try that. Go up in the Himalayas and find a nice sandbar and get some emeralds and some gold. Right? That'd be fun. Wouldn't that, kitty? Yeah? Dr. Spurgeon, the surgeon, sturgeon. Surgeon. Sorry, I'm still talking about crab. The Man Who Walked the Earth. Pivian, thank you. The Man Who Walked the Earth. That was the movie. I forgot the title to it. It was, it was interesting. You think about it a little bit. I do think that everybody got a little too mad at him for finding out that he was immortal. Like, how dare you tell us these things, you liar? And I've been like, cool, whatever. Aaron Salentine, I was at Barnes and the cat, get out of the way. I was at Barnes and Nobles today, bought the 48 Laws of Power. Saw a book on the governor of Florida. The title was His Name and the Man of Courage We Need. I laughed inside so hard. Dr. Spurgeon, the sturgeon surgeon, best fish and chips is in Brighton, England. Granted, yes, you go to England, you might get fish and chips superior to what you get at Proper Fish here on Bainbridge, but Proper Fish will kick the shit out of any fish and chips place in the U.S. It really is no, that's better than anything I've had anywhere else. It's clear as day. Deck P, HW, I was watching your work-shaped tackets and the table saw on wheels is not a good idea. Seriously, bro? The wheels lock. I just forgot to lock them. But yes, in a small shop like that, I had to be able to move the table saw out of the way constantly. So yeah, that's why it's on wheels. Bizizzo, good evening, Houston and other Mingos. Welcome. Senior Butts Restaurant Catering Vintage Arcade, established 1971, fully renovated April 15th, 2014. I don't know what that is, Senior Butts McGee, but right on. Arcade Crab Shack, Crabtown, USA. Ah, that's what you're talking about. Jason Blackwell, Houston, crabs often get bad grades while below sea level. The ticket is for me. Nancy shooting her shot here in the chat. Osha's entered the chat. Hey, if I lose limbs in my garage, that's my business. Not any of yours. Although Nancy might be upset. Nancy's about to fight Jimmy D over me or something. I don't know. I'm out of water. I made it to the end of the chat. I'm at the end of the chat. I made it. I'm there. Just kick back, relax. I will be doing more shop stuff. Because I have to build my ventilation box. But first I have to get a new solid core table for that tabletop, because that Boeing hollow core thing is not going to last. So, yeah. So I will be doing more shop voyeur. I have no idea how to spell voyeur, and I think I spelled it differently in both videos. But we'll be doing that, and then when I get everything completed and I can start making gold, or refining gold, I should say. It is a fun process, and I don't think I'll live shoot that stuff. Well, I'll probably do recorded videos and then kind of stitch them together, because it's a lot of like, hey, we have a big old pool of sulfuric acid. I've got a current running through it. We're going to do reverse electrolysis. So we're going to be dipping gold-plated things into this pool of gnarly sulfuric acid, turning on a charge, running a charge through that stuff, and then, getting the gold off and so on. And I'll teach you about the safety, about how not to like make sulfuric acid explosions. But you can do sulfuric acid to water, but you can't do water to sulfuric acid. It goes boom, stuff like that. How to So if the vent box fails, I watch you fumigate your basement. Luckily, it'd be fumigating my garage, which has open doors, so I can run in fear until the acid is petered out. I'm very curious at how long this bathroom fan I bought will last with the hydrogen sulfide pumping through there. Like what I'd do before when my last fan died was I set up a table outside and I just had a big box fan just kind of blowing everything away from me. just get away. I don't want to breathe that in. But it's better to send it somewhere. So I've got like 100 feet of tube that I can make it go somewhere else. Yeah. Turn copper into gold. Well, that I don't have alchemy powers, but I can pull the copper, silver, other metals out of like 14 karat gold and get the pure gold out of it. So, Senior Bus McGee heading to bed and we'll eat crabs this weekend. Awesome. Arius Shadow, is there something about tax deferrals in the States due to the pandemic that would lower tax revenue income? Not that I'm aware of, Arius. I can't think of any. Citizen 54, considering global warming, is buying an island a terrible idea? I mean, I guess it depends on how high the island gets, because you will have less of it at one point, that's for sure. I mean, if you're buying like some low-lying atoll out in the Indian Ocean, in the Maldives or something, yeah, you're going to be gone soon. But you can enjoy it until then. The coral reefs will be amazing, right, Kat? Look at you. Look at that fat little belly. Oh my goodness. Okay. Did I get the end? I got the end the second time. I'm gonna call her quits today. I'm very tired and my arms are very itchy, and I gotta do more Blackberry Murder tomorrow. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you guys Monday if I don't do a Twitch stream. We'll see if we Twitch it up. Right, Kat? Right? Oh, you got such sharp weapons. You do. They're so sharp. All right, everybody. Oh, Coochie Mongo at the Docks Marina Grill on the Bainbridge was awesome. Docks is all right. Back in the day, the pub was amazing, but the pub's not amazing anymore. That used to be the place to go. Just kick crap out of Docks, but they went downhill. If you come to Bainbridge, you need food. I'll just say this right now. Come to Bainbridge Island, Washington. Ferry ride from Seattle, eat food. Bruschetto for pizza. Napolitano pizza is amazing. Boss Saw is really good. They do kind of a French-Vietnamese fusion. It's delicious. Proper fish. Amazing. If you want French food, Marché is really good. Very pricey. But the former chef Canalis opened that restaurant. It's very hoity-toity. Very nice, but too expensive for my blood. And anything else that will knock people's socks off, Kitty? Via Rosa is really tasty. They got some damn good food at Via Rosa. Mora for ice cream. Mora, really good. Argentinian family moved here. Open ice cream shop. Delicious. The lava cake. I love the lava cake. All right, everybody enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Have fun. And don't get too cut up by blackberries. Right? Right. Peace. I am honestly so warm right now. I am roasting. Summer started early. Oh my goodness.